What's going on, YouTube family? How we doing? Hope you've all had an incredible week. So today is my 50-second video posted on YouTube. I said I'd do one every week for a year, and I've done it. So, I get a lot of questions. Classic, how much do you earn? What has it done for you? How quick did you grow? Any tips, any tricks, things like that. So I thought I'd do a little video. We'll go through the analytics and stuff, showcasing, how the channel grew, how much it earned. Is it a side hustle opportunity for you? Is it something you should look at doing in 2022, going into 2023? Just quickly before we do, if you're new around here, if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, we're on our way to 100,000 subscribers. We've just hit 19K and we've got 81K to go. I'd really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, it goes a long way and it's completely free. Right, so obviously I started a channel back in August last year, and I pretty much just kind of picked up my phone. I had actually the first video I didn't even have a microphone. I had no idea about editing, I had no idea about content creation. I just knew that I always fancied doing a YouTube, never really done one. Figured, well, if you want to do something, why not give it a try? It doesn't really cost to begin with. So I simply used my iPhone 12 and I filmed my first video. It went down alright. I just kept going. Obviously looked at investing into a microphone. I got a microphone, got like a cheap lapel off Amazon, and then from there kind of just started creating videos on just topics I wanted to talk about. One thing I would say it's important to do is try and have a niche, try and dive into a niche, not too many niches, but also think of a niche that you're willing to talk about for a long time or showcase, because if you don't love what you're talking about, or you perhaps don't think of enough content ideas around that subject, it can be very difficult in order to keep doing it for a long period of time. So just bear that in mind. Obviously from then, we got monetized. I'll check exactly when. I think it was in October. You need 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time. So my first few videos went out, and obviously, you're not making anything from it. And then I decided, once we were monetized, that I would reinvest all the money made into buying equipment. So I bought a camera, I bought a microphone, bought a light setup, bought courses on how to edit, courses on how to even do YouTube. Big ups Ali Abdal in the Part-Time YouTuber Academy. That was incredible, really eye-opening for me. So I reinvested all the money into things that I figured would help, grow the channel more, give the better production value, which I feel that YouTube needs. It's more of a polished platform, whereas other platforms you can just kind of put up whatever you want, and that's kind of how it goes. And then I've had lots of offers. I've had a lot of sponsorship offers. Obviously the niche that I'm in, or have been in for the last year, certainly you get the sponsorships that perhaps you don't want. A lot of broker affiliates, a lot of IBMs, and look, you can clean up on them, you can make a hell of a lot of money on them, but it would be unfair of me to try and push things towards an audience that I don't even use. If someone like IC Markets came along, yeah, cool, I use them. FTMO, I use them. Different clothing brands, I use them. Do you know what I mean? So you have to do your due diligence with sponsorships. Obviously it's nice to feel wanted, I guess, with the channel. You're like, oh my God, my first sponsorship. And I remember when I first got my few, I was like, wow. But I haven't actually taken any on board. I know what ones I'd like to take on, and I know what ones I'm about. So if they ever come up, then yeah, let's go. But until then, I'm not gonna sell myself out for some sponsorships. It's just not right. Anyway, so yeah, basically it's taken a year today, 52 videos, and I've just ticked over 19,000 subscribers, which I'm gassed about. I did a course with a lot of YouTubers, and seeing people's growth, not everybody in their first 52 videos achieves that. So I'm not saying that that's what you're going to get if you start. You may make more, double, triple me, you may make less. And it comes down to you. There's so many different variables. There's some channels that have just, they keep propelling, and there's people that replicate a very similar style, if not better, and they're not getting anywhere, and I don't know what that is. I feel like I hit a bit of a plateau at the moment, if I'm being real. I do feel like my channel has hit a little bit of a, whoa, okay, like it was growing thousands a month, and now it's more like 500, 600, 700. So I've learned a lot. I had to learn how to edit. I had to learn how to create a content, tell a story, get camera angles, make thumbnails, think of titles, look into scripting. The best YouTubers actually plan it, they do have a script. I've tried it, I find it very hard to look at a script and talk. I've looked at teleprompters and stuff. I like more off the cuff, but at the same time I do find I miss some valid points in videos and whatnot. But overall I've really enjoyed it. I think it's incredible and I recommend it to anyone. Just getting a camera and filming yourself. I believe that in the next 5-10 years, YouTube will become the new kind of TV. We only really watch YouTube, the kids only really watch YouTube, me and the missus really watch just YouTube things. And I do feel like anyone that's got a proper platform on this channel can open up many doors. You never know who's gonna come knocking. You only have to look at some of the people and their journeys to where they are now and the things they've achieved, made, and you know, got levels they've got to. Some people have gone into presenting or hosting different shows, or you know, starting different brands. They've got multiple brands under them. Food, drink, you know, clothing. There's so many different things that can open up. So I'd say nowadays I'd certainly start one, but what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't start one in the hope of getting rich quick. That takes us now into the analytics. So we'll pivot into that. Look forward to the next 52 videos. So hopefully you can see my screen. This is this week's video. So it's performing it's the second best one I've posted in the last 10 videos. Obviously that will always increase. Every new 10 set of videos increases, but yeah, it's doing all right. 7.1k views in you know, in a few days is great. Obviously it's a video that of course people want to watch, so yeah, obviously we'll go from there. But anyway, so if we go into the analytics, this is based on the last 28 days. So to give you a kind of context, at the moment this month I'm estimated around £332, which, look, it isn't, I'm not saying it's bad in any way, shape or form, but for anybody here saying that could probably pay their bills, we know it couldn't, right? Especially when you factor in taxes, leaves me with like 125 quid, and nowadays that's like taking the kids out for a day out, you know, if that. But that's fine. Like I said, I've been reinvesting it into equipment. I don't know if I've even broke even on the equipment I've bought. We'll check it out now. So if we go into lifetime, so last 365 days, you can see that we have made a grand total of £4,245. £4 in, you know, just under a year. Equipment, I've probably spent 5k-ish on equipment, I'd imagine, close to. Yeah, I reckon I'm over 5k probably, which is fine because you've got to invest in yourself, and this is what you've got to remember in today's age. You do have to invest in yourself, have consistency, and then the rewards will come, you know, slowly. The way I look at this is year one. I'm really excited to see where year two is. But we've had 717,000 views, which when you think about that, yes, essentially it's not 717,000 people, but that's how many times videos and things of my face has been viewed on the platform, which I think is crazy. We're nearly at 7 figures. If we can get 7 figures by the end of the year, that would be insane. And we've nearly had 100,000 hours of watch time, which is pretty mad too. I get, again, on the scale of other channels, that's minor. Some of them make that in a day. But again, a lot of these channels, like I'm a big fan of the Sidemen, for instance, they've been going sort of 7 years. Look at KSI, for instance, making videos on FIFA, just chilling, doing his thing. Now look at where he's at. It's all the consistency and the growth, right? Now I'm not saying I'm going to become that, but what I am saying is everybody here has the ability to grow and scale a platform and a brand that can become something huge, and we don't know how huge that can be and what way we take that. We've had 6.5 million impressions, which is mental. I think that's how many eyeballs have seen my thumbnail pop up. Impressions, click-through rate, about 4.1% overall, which naturally is lower when you get viral videos and whatnot, because more people are being fed it, and the way the algorithm tends to work, it will give a little bit of it to your subscribers. If they watch it and the watch time's quite high and they're clicking on the thumbnail, it will give it to a few more subscribers and then a few more. And then what it does is it tests the water and goes, right, let's give it to people that don't subscribe and let's see if they click it. And if they click it, then it keeps pushing it. But if they don't click it and they ignore it, that's where the click-through rate obviously goes down, and that's perhaps where the algorithm stops fully pushing it out. There's rumors as well that the algorithm needs a full week in order to push the video out. You can look at all the different people and their journeys, and I found myself doing that a lot. You know, I'm looking, I'm like, whoa, how did they get there? Whoa, but everybody starts differently. Everybody has their own kind of persona and character. Everybody has their own niche. Everybody has their own delivery. You know, one thing I'm looking to do, perhaps in the new year, as much as I enjoy all the editing, it would be nice to just film, give it to someone and say, edit it how I like it, do this for me, cheers. But obviously the channel at the moment is not making enough for me to warrant wanting to get an editor that's going to deliver the quality I want without me paying out my own pocket, which again, it's not an issue, but then my head from a business perspective is like, why would I pay out of my own money to make YouTube better when at the moment I can manage it. You know, I'm adapting my lifestyle and things around different things so that I have time to do things like this. You know, I'm on holiday at the moment, but I'm just making this video because, again, I don't want to let the consistency go because, oh my God, I'm on holiday, I can't. I'm happy to do this. This is my happy place. I love creating, I love editing, and you can't beat making a dope video and then posting it. Obviously, sometimes they plateau and flop and you're like, oh my God, like, that video was a banger, what happened? But that's just the way it goes sometimes. You can't always assume that every video is going to be a banger. And as Gary Vee says, we're all one piece of content away from changing our life. We just don't know what that content is. On June the 12th, we made £73 in one day, which, to be fair, it's not bad, right? There are days where, again, you know, we've made like £10 and like £2 and £4, and then you get 21, and then you get 29, and obviously it all differs, and this is purely AdSense. It's little adverts that pop up on the video, and I know they can be annoying, but believe me, I know other channels that will, in an 8-minute video, will post 20, 30 adverts to maximize it. I've always tried to stick to sort of 2 or 3. They're the only thing that I get from this, and like I say, it goes into equipment to make the viewing experience better, and then hopefully one day it goes into, you know, just doing things with the kids and kind of growing and scaling my life, and eventually pays for an editor or pays for a podcast studio. I'd love to be able to do more frequent podcasts, but again, hiring out a studio every time at £200 an hour and then having to edit it all and then getting someone there, it's very difficult. So again, I'm looking at, right, how do I scale into that? And it's important not to just jump in head first to everything and slowly build it. You know, this hasn't just happened overnight. Again, this is a year. And to some people, they'll be like, 19K, bro, it's not a lot. You made £4,000. Like, what? And I get that, but it's about where it can go in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So here we have the RPM, which is what YouTube's paying me. Now again, this differs on niche. So if you're in the finance, entrepreneur, business sector, you tend to get paid a higher RPM, and it changes throughout the year as well. And this is what YouTube charge to advertise, for people to advertise. So they're charging 14 quid, I'm getting 5.93, and that's per 1,000 views. So to put that into context, it's like if you get 10,000 views, you might make 50, 60 quid on that video. Now, that video might have taken tons of hours to make and create, and it may just make you 50, 60 quid. Don't get me wrong, the more videos you have and the more frequent views they get, and some of my older videos still get views today, they can of course help in revenue and whatnot, but at the same time, you've just got to keep creating. You can't get lost in the numbers. You can't see a video do poorly and go, oh mate, what the hell. I posted a vlog recently and it was my worst ever video, and I thought it was quite a cool video. And it just goes to show what you think's great. Some people might go, nah, it's not. Obviously, like I said, I do want to try and get into more vlogging. I really do enjoy that, and the kids enjoy it as well. And we've done a couple of vlogs from the holiday, and they've had loads of fun. That's all they watch, YouTube vloggers, like kids and families vlogging. They watch hide and seeks, they do things like that. And it's definitely more fun content. I enjoy it, even the missus enjoys making that sort of stuff. So I definitely want to throw a bit more of that in, but I also want to keep in, obviously, the education, the self-development, and I would like to hit some podcasts. Some people say that you should have multiple channels for this stuff, and I get it, but dealing with multiple channels, again, is quite hard, whereas I'd rather have one that kind of covers a few different bases. So the biggest month for me was May. I did £822, which, that's a sick month, you know, and the way I see it is if you can hit that, close to 1,000 every month, the channel's doing well, you know, there's no denying that, the channel will be doing really well, and then it's a case of going from there to just continuing. Once it hit that, I'm not gonna lie, I thought, here we go, this is the start of the takeoff, and then since then it has really come down again, and it's actually become lower than it was in March, and that's just how it goes. Sometimes your stuff's being viewed a lot, next time it dips off, and the whole thing again as a creator is go and make another 52 videos. Now you have 104. Now there's more variety on the channel. But yeah, there's a little insight. Obviously, I just want to say as well, massive big ups to everybody that's liked, shared, supported, subscribed, commented, the love that you've sent. You know, it really does mean a lot, and I really appreciate you all. And I know there's a lot of people here that have been here since day one, and I know there's a lot of people that have been here for a few weeks. I just want to say I generally appreciate it all. It means a lot to me. I'm looking forward to the next sort of, 52 weeks to see where we go, see what we can create, see what we can achieve. I would love to blow those results out of the water, but at the same time, like I said, you can't get fixed on results. How many people viewed, how many people liked and commented. It varies time to time, it's always different. I think the most important thing is to just remember that obviously have fun with it. If you're doing this for monetary gain only, It's going to be very hard in the first few years because, like I say, we all see and know there's YouTubers that are making 50 to 100k a month. And there is, 100%. I've met some of them and they kill it. But they didn't do it overnight. You know, it took them a long time. It took them a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice. And the most important thing that I've taken from all of them is it was consistency and enjoying what you do. And we all know that if you don't enjoy what you do, as I've said before, chances are you're not going to do it for long. I try and reply to all the comments. A lot of people say don't, because if you don't reply to comments, you don't see the shit. But I'm like, but I want to reply to people because they've taken the time to reply to me or they've asked me a question. And I feel it would be wrong of me to just post a video and then people have questions and I'm like, bye. You know, obviously it's getting quite hard now to get back to everyone, but I do try my best. But yeah, there's a run through. Obviously, I highly recommend it for anybody. Just remember, it's a long-term game again, just like trading. You know, it's not about getting into it and flipping accounts. YouTube's not about getting into it, hitting 100k and being a millionaire. And just because your niche perhaps doesn't pay the highest RPM doesn't mean you shouldn't go into that niche. Because there's people in niches that don't pay a lot, like vloggers, that are some of the biggest YouTubers in the world, that their earnings come more from sponsorships than from AdSense. And I know people that have hit sponsorship deals of 80,000 for a couple of months' work. It can happen, you know, so it all depends on the channel and the audience. But yeah, I highly recommend doing it. I highly recommend giving it a go. And like I say, to begin with, the phones nowadays that we have are more than good enough. You could just use your iPhone. And like I say, you don't have to treat it as a business. It could just be a hobby, something for fun, and you just make videos as and when. What I would say, what I've learned again, is posting each week definitely helps, as opposed to posting like once a month. Again, if you're not trying to grow it as a business, then you don't have to. Posting twice a week would be great, but it's having the content ideas to do that and the time. And these videos do take a lot longer to make. This one, you know, it's a 50-second one. And yeah, I'm buzzing that I've made it. I'm buzzing that I achieved that goal of making 52 videos for a year. Let's see what happens next year. Hope you all have an incredible week. Peace and love, gang. Catch you in a bit.